Okay guys, we are back for the second of our 2 pulling exercises. This one is going to be basically trying to engage our lats prior to going into benching. This one's also a great warm-up if you have trouble engaging those lats while you're benching. So you're going to be standing with your arms straight out, palms facing down. You're going to go for a medium to heavy band, and I want you to think about standing up nice and tall and dropping those shoulders down. You're going to stand shoulder width apart, and you're just going to pull and come back. Don't let those arms bend, don't let those shoulders come up. Keep everything nice and down, and really try and focus on those lats engaging. This is a really good warm-up just to kind of get that back ready to get underneath the bench. These are the last 2 videos in accessory work for bench, and these last 2 are going to be very much just benching in different formats. The first one we're going to be doing is tempo and pause, and then we'll add in a nice fun one after this. So you're going to set up like you normally would underneath the bench. Nothing different from what we've talked about earlier. Get nice and set up. The first one we're going to talk about is tempo. So you can do this a couple different ways. One option is tempo on the way down, normal speed on the way up. You can also do tempo down and tempo up. It all depends on where your weaknesses are and what you need to work on. That usually ends up being your tempo. The second one you want to think about doing is pause. And what this basically means is get down to the bottom, but then hang out here for a second. Let your body have to take that load and then have to push up from a stopping point. This prevents using that rebound on the bottom of your chest. If you are competitive, this also allows you to prep for the fact that you might not get that go ahead to push the bar back up for another couple seconds. And it strengthens that bottom position so you can get out of it a little bit easier as the weight gets heavier. We are ready for the last benching exercise, and what we're using is a fun thing that if you have at your gym, I highly recommend you get to use. It is called a band bell, an earthquake bar sometimes it's called, and it's a barbell basically made out of bamboo. And the whole idea of it is it adds a huge level of instability, and using that instability to train and increase the ability of your little stability muscles, that rotator cuff, little things in your back, front of your shoulder, to help stabilize your bench as you get to a more stable thing like a barbell. So I'm going to show you how it works today. If you have one at your gym, like I said, definitely recommend using it. So we're going to set up like a normal bench, but I'm going to show you kind of why it gets a lot harder. You're going to get underneath it. You're going to re-rack like normal, but I recommend no sudden movement. So basically everything's going to start moving the minute you unrack this. So you'll notice it very much wants to start doing this. It's your job to, once you get into that position, stabilize. Try and let it not sway as much as it wants to. When you go to bench, come down nice and slow. Use those muscles to stabilize, and then when you come back up, nice and steady. When you re-rack, that's usually when most of the instability comes into play, so just be careful when you're unracking. If you do not have one of these at your gym, feel free to add some bands onto some kettlebells on the side of a barbell. It'll start to kind of simulate that movement. And always go lighter than your normal benches. Instability adds a lot of difficulty. See you guys later.